top 5 musicals. Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber's 1968 musical takes the number 5 spot on our list. As a rating that may surprise some, the musical fuses several types of music, including rock, country, and even Elvis-inspired blues, into a musical about the Bible and several characters inside. The musical focuses on Jacob's favorite child, Joseph. Joseph had the ability to decipher dreams, which allows him to rise into social classes as his dreams predict. The plot shows grit and determination of one man and jealousy of 11 others take place in Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Don't forget, there are 29 colors mentioned in the musical. In the Heights is a Lin-Manuel Miranda musical, which came out in 2008, and in the same year won a Tony for several categories, including Best Musical. In the Heights was also released as a movie in 2021. In the Heights is a hip-hop musical that shows life and proud culture of tenants in the New York City neighborhood of Washington Heights during the 4th of July weekend. Live as locals in Washington Heights as you meet the everyday people that Usnavi, the main character, sees each day, with engaging backstories. Dive deeper into the relationship of Vanessa and Usnavi and Benny and Nina, and experience the pain and anguish when disaster strikes a community in the attempt to leave for a homeland, only to stay grounded in their home now. Watch as a community shares its culture and story to give a deeper meaning of life in Washington Heights as a Latino and an immigrant. Hamilton is a Lin-Manuel Miranda musical which first came to the scene in 2015, receiving an enormous amount of accolades, including a record-breaking 16 nominations at the Tonys and 11 wins, including Best Musical. Hamilton portrays the life of a lesser-known American politician and founding father Alexander Hamilton. Before Hamilton, most Americans either knew Hamilton as the man of a $10 bill or a man who died in a duel with Aaron Burr. Hamilton, however, uncovers the multi-layered life of the Secretary of Treasury, including the ravaged childhood of Hamilton, his tireless work to establish America as a country and its constitution, his many political beliefs, and yes, scandals. With an infusion of hip-hop and rap and history, Hamilton brilliantly teaches a time of history where most may get lost. Hamilton is often used in U.S. history classes to help teach Hamilton or a certain topic, like the Federalist Papers. Come From Away was written by Irene Sankoff and David Hein in the genre of folk rock with Celtic influence. A musical debuting on Broadway in 2017, Come From Away shares the best of humanity during the worst of times. Set during the horrific attacks on the World Trade Center in New York on 9/11, the musical may seem somber, but you'll cry for different reasons. Once the U.S. airspace shut down. Planes coming into the United States from across the Atlantic had to land in a tiny town in Newfoundland, Canada, named Gander. Gander had a population of 9,000 at a time, but welcomed 7,000, of whom they called plain people or come from a ways, from 38 planes. Focused especially on an American Airlines flight from Paris to Dallas, we see the bonds passengers made in 5 days with people from around the globe, made with each other, the stories of these people, and the connections to the locals that lasted for years. The display of kindness by the Newfoundlanders was only reciprocated by the plain people, which shows kindness prevails over all in harrowing times. Hadestown was a musical composed by Anäis. The musical first hit the Broadway scene in 2019 and won 8 Tonys, including Best Musical. Hadestown is a retelling of the Greek myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. The legend revolves around a musician who lost his lover to the underworld. He embarks on a heroic quest of risk and trust in his endeavor to resurrect his beloved. Hadestown also highlights several contemporary problems today, including workers' rights and climate change, spun beautifully into the plot, with a folk rock style music with hints of New Orleans themed jazz. Hadestown revives a new type of Broadway that connects story and messaging with song quite well. Be prepared to board the train down to Hadestown and for the ride to be shaky until the very end. As Hermes warns, it's a sad song, it's a tragedy. The blend of ancient myth and modern problems combine into what I say is the best musical out there.